What's up, everybody? You got Tone here, bringing you my MPL Season 5 Week Number 2 battle. This week we are up against Herahord, coach of the SL Banefica. If you guys missed last week's battle against Verd, I encourage you to check that out. There's a playlist for the MPL, which will be updated on a weekly basis. So, long story short, we did end up losing that battle. It was a close 1-0 loss, so not ideally the way we want to start out the season. And here we are playing a very respected battler in Herahord, who has won multiple championships already. I believe he's now back-to-back champion in the SPN, and he has another title from last generation. So, very experienced battler. I have my work cut out for me this week, and he has a very, very scary, capable team at his disposal. There is going to be no team builders for the MPL just because I'm doing team builders for the MPL minors. I don't want to, make myself do any more, extra work. Not because I'm trying to be lazy or anything, but just trying to, condense the videos and stuff. But if you guys are curious about my EV spreads and all that stuff, I'll leave a paste bin of the team I'm bringing in the description down below, so you can check out the sets and whatnot. So first off, I'll basically give you a rundown of Herahord's team. His team consists of the Mega Glade. He has Heatran, Thunderous Darien, Tangrowth, Krooko-dile, Sylveon, Mesprit, Fortress, Mantine, Dragalge, and Ambipom, with Thunderous Darien being his offensive Zmon and Mesprit being his Super Zmon user. And of course my team, in case you forgot, we have Weavile, Nidoqueen, Latios, Arcanine, Tornadus Darien, Primarina, Rotom, Snorlax, Machamp, Lilligant, and Mega Aggron, with my offensive Zmon user being Tornadus Darien and my Super Zmon user being the Latios. So, the very, very scary team at Hera's disposal, although I do feel as though I brought a team that can at least come to terms and match up well against any combination of 6. I felt, and he decided this game to bring the Heatran, the Mantine, the Sylveon, Thunderous Darien, the Krooko-dile, and the Mega Glade. I pretty much expected this entire team. The only real toss-up was between either would he bring Mantine or the Tangrowth, but Mantine does do a better job of checking my Primarina, so it made a lot more sense to bring the Mantine in that regard. So, once I saw his team, I figured when I saw Heatran and Krooko-dile together, I figured if Heatran's the Stealth Rocker, and as you see on my team, I didn't bring any hazard removal. So if you leave out with Heatran, then it's pretty obvious that Krooko-dile is going to be Scarf. And the team that I brought didn't really have much for a Scarf Krooko-dile. I basically had to rely on either prediction or trying to take a hit from the Krooko-dile, as well as trying to keep stuff like Thunderous Darien and Mega Glade in check in the back. And on top of that, he has that Mantine, which can eat up, which can switch on my Primarina very, very easily. But just to run down the sets tonight I'm bringing to this battle, we have a Flyinium Z Tornadus Darien with Hurricane, Heatwave, Superpower, U-Turn, Choice Bandit Weavile with Ice Chart, Icicle Crash, Knockoff, and Low Kick for the Heatran. A very interesting set that we have Choice Scarf Primarina, as Choice Scarf Primarina outspeeds his entire team by one point. That outspeeds his fastest Pokemon, which is the Ambipom, surprised with the Hydro Pump. So we have Hydro Pump, Moonblast, Psychic, and Hidden Power Electric. It's because I need it for Mantine. We have a Guts Flame Orb Machamp with Close Combat, Facade, Heavy Slam, and Bullet Punch. A standard tank Mega Aggron with Stealth Rock, Toxic, Heavy Slam, Earthquake. And lastly, a mixed defensive Nidoqueen with Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam. So that's pretty much a team that we're going to be using in this game. I'm going to stop rambling and just get into the battle and see how we ended up doing this week. So, as we start the battle here, you're going to see I'm going to lead off with my Tornadus because it felt as though they had the best matchup against the entire team. He's going to lead off with Heatran because, as you see, I did not bring any hazard removal whatsoever. So, figuring that he'll lead up with the Heatran here, I figured take the opportunity to go for a superpower as he reveals Air Balloon on his Heatran, which does make sense. So I go for my superpower here, turn 1, not trying to overpredict. He does over half. And he decides to get a bit Stealth Rock here as I pop the Air Balloon. I just have to go for Flash Cannon first, just to get some damage off of my Tauren, which does make sense, kind of pressure my Tauren, because it does check stuff like the like Mantine and whatnot. So I'm gonna go for a U-turn here. I'm thinking he was gonna switch out, but he decided to stay in, try to get up his rocks, and I knew a -1 superpower wouldn't take out Heatran from this range. So I was gonna go hard into my Nidoqueen here, and now he's had to get his Stealth Rock up here. So here I'm gonna try to make a prediction here, expecting the Mantine to come in on a predicted Earth Power. But he reveals he's faster, he has some speed investment, so this feels he's more of an offensive Stealth Rock set. And I'm going to go for Thunderbolt here because I'm expecting him to go out into the Mantine predicting the Earth Power because I'm thinking he's going to preserve the Heatran for my Mega Aggron, but instead he doesn't. So he go for Fire Blast here, and unfortunately he misses. I go for Earth Power here, do connect, and I'm going to take out Heatran. And I'm like, okay, that's very, very nice. Now there's one less thing from Mega Aggron to worry about, and we are up 6-5 early on. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's the good news. The bad news about taking out the Heatran, he gets a free switch into his Krooko-dile, and I'm like, okay, I don't have the best switch-ins to a Krooko-dile, so it's either I was going to like go into Tauren on the knockoff or the Earthquake. I didn't want to predict, and I just want my Nidoqueen to the Earthquake here. I'm like, I really couldn't. It was kind of a big 50-50 between Krook, knockoff, and Earthquake. Earthquake was the safest play because he lost nothing by doing so, and he pressures my Tauren with the Stealth Rock up. So now I'm going to go a bit to my Tauren here. I'm like, oh crap. I don't have my Nidoqueen anymore, and now my Thundurus can free click Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and whatnot. So he's going to switch out. He's going to go hard into his Thundurus, and I'm just going to fire off my Flying EMZ here. It kind of was a waste, of course, because the main reason why I brought Flying EMZ because I want something to break the I wanted something to break past this special wall, mainly the Mantine. I'm pretty sure, I think Tangrowth, like a Spadef Assault Vest Tangrowth took a Hurricane. I don't remember the calcs exactly on why I had Flying EMZ over Life Orb, but it is what it is. He reveals he's leftover, so he's not a Z move. Like, okay, that's nice. But, of course, I lost my switch-in to the Thundurus, so I'm just going to fire off a U-turn here, try to get some momentum into something, and I'm like, okay, the only Pokemon I can think of that can take one Thunderbolt is my Weavile, so I want to go make the hard re into Weavile, thinking about Thunderbolt, and he's going to make the smarter play and just going to fire off a U-turn here, which makes the most sense because I have a Nidoqueen, but Nidoqueen's gone right now, and it's going to do well over half of my Weavile. I'm like, okay, this is not looking good for my Weavile. And he gets to go right out into this Mega Gallade here, gets a free Mega, gets a free Drain Punch. Because I can't really risk him going out into my Tauren, he predicts me. So I'm just going to stay in, go for Icicle Crash, try to get some damage off on the Mega Gallade. I wish I had kept it around, but I couldn't really think of anything I would want to come in on a Mega Gallade bar the Tauren. Get over half, but of course with Inner Focus you can't flinch it. And it's going to pick off my Weavile with a Drain Punch, and it essentially was going to be dead anyway because of Mega Gallade probably having Shadow Sneak if I kind of switch back and forth with Stealth Rock being up. So I lose my Weavile, do get a free switch into my Primarina. I wanted to click HP Electric so badly. He kind of figured something was up, but I went hard Primarina. So he's going to go hard into his Mantine here. I'm just going to fire off a Moonblast because it was pretty safe with the Heatran being gone. It hits most of his team. It hits his entire team for neutral damage. That is a good chunk. No special attack drop, but that's fine. I'm just going to go hard into my Machamp here, expecting like a Toxic. I don't think he would go for the air slash right away. So he does reveal a toxic here, which is perfectly fine by me because I am Guts. I would have gotten a status boost either way, whether I was toxic or burn. I kind of preferred if he missed the toxics, that way my Machamp would have a little bit more staying power. But of course, with Heatran being gone, he has no switch into Facade. He's gonna go hard to a Sylveon here, expecting me to take a Facade here. And you're gonna see by the damage this Machamp does, it does well over half to a Sylveon, which is most likely look like it's max HP, max defense. I did some calcs, and Heavy Slam from status Adamant Max Attack Machamp one-shotted a max HP, max defense Sylveon. He goes for Protect as he goes to go for Facade, which essentially he will believe that with the extra leftover recovery, he'd be out of range of Facade. But little does he know, on this Machamp, I am packing the Heavy Slam, even though the toxic damage is racking up immensely. So he goes for Protect again, doesn't work. I'm going to fire off a Heavy Slam, not going to mess around with this Sylveon, and this thing is just going to drop. So Machamp picking up its first kill of the season and dropping the Sylveon on its neck. However, because of the toxic damage, I'm not in a very good position here. He's going to go right back into a Thunderous, so I'm like, yep, deja vu all over again. So do I try to save it? I try to go for Bullet Punch here just to get some extra chip damage off, though in the ideal situation, I probably should have kept the thing around for the Mantine, because Machamp could have still come on Mantine with like a Scald or whatnot, and pressure that thing immensely. And if I got rid of Mantine, it would have been a lot more easier for my Primarina. But like I said before the battle started, the fact that he had the Heatran means that his Krooko-dile had to be Scarf. So I go for Heat Wave here when I bring in my Torn, thinking it's going to kill, but it does not. And I'm like, oh god damn it. There goes my Torn. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely not looking good right now. Because all I have left now is my Primarina and my Mega Aggron. I have to deal with this Thunderous, I have to deal with a Mantine, a Krooko-dile, a Scarf Krooko-dile that I know is Scarf, and a Mega Gallade, and all I have left is a Primarina. So I'm just going to fire off a Moonblast here again because, like I said, I have nothing to lose, there's no drawback. Fire off a Moonblast, so the Surprise Tech sort of worked in hindsight, but at the same time, now that he knows I'm Scarf, he gets to go right into his Mantine and basically can do whatever he wants. He can Roost up, he can Toxic me, all that stuff. So he's going to go for the Roost here. I should have expected that and gone hard into my Mega Aggron, but my Mega Aggron was not Mega at the time. And now I'm just thinking, okay, how am I going to not lose to the Krooko-dile, or at least try to make the differential a little bit more manageable, because my Mega Aggron isn't going to be able to take a hit from the Krooko-dile if I'm not Mega'd, and I need to make sure I'm at least above half, so that way Earthquake doesn't take me out. But at the same time, even at that point, even if I take out the... Even if I Mega Evolve right here, because I'm expecting him to go for a Roost again, as I switch into my Mega Aggron, I'm going to go for the... I'm going to Mega Evolve here and go for a Toxic, because I'm like, okay, I can at least try to whittle this thing down enough to the point where Primarina can come back in, revenge kill it with Moonblast, and then still have my Mega Aggron at kind of high HP, but because I'm not running any attack investment, and Krooko-dile is still at full, and I know I risked the Skull Burn here, but fortunately I didn't get burned. I'm going to fire a Toxic down, and the Mantine's now put on a timer, which is fine. But it's pretty much looking like Krooko-dile is going to come in and click Earthquake whenever it wants, because even with this damage here, I'm going to go... I'm going to stay in with my Mega Aggron here and try to get some damage off with Heavy Slam. But because of that Scald from the Mantine, I am now within range of a Krooko-dile Earthquake, even with Filter. So I'm going to make the read and go hard back into my Primarina, expecting him to go for a Roost or a Scald or whatever the case may be. because at this point it's pretty much damage control here, and like try to at least make the differential in the loss a little bit more respectable. Instead of it being a 3-0 loss, it would be a little more like a 2-0 loss. So with the man time on the timer here, I'm on a time with burn. I'm just going to stick clicking Moonblast here because I have nothing left to click. I can't go for HP Electric because I'm going to give the Krooko-dile a free switch in. He's just going to fire off a Scald here, not trying to play any more games because he pretty much knows the game is won for him, and the toxic damage is actually going to take out the man time, so that kill is going to go to the Mega Aggron. But with man time down, he gets to go right out into his Krooko-dile. And all he has to do is just click Earthquake 2 times because it was pretty certain that this Krooko-dile was Scarf. I didn't see Intimidate, it was too obvious. And my Primarina is going to drop to the Earthquake. He's going to get the Moxie boost, which puts my Mega Aggron 100% in range of the next Earthquake, and that's pretty much going to be the game. So, unfortunately, we are going to drop to 0-2 with a -3 differential. Good game goes to Hera. He played a very solid game. He kept his win con healthy in the back which being the Krooko-dile. Nothing I can do about that. And whoops. There's nothing really I can do in terms of my plan. Was basically trying to surprise him with the Choice Scarf Primarina, but unfortunately that didn't really work out the way I had hoped. But nonetheless, I did enjoy this battle here. Other than the Fire Blast miss on the Heatran, the game was relatively hacks-free, other than that one point. There was no crits, there was no moves that missed that was proved to be detrimental, that changed the outcome of the game, which I enjoyed. That was pretty much the silver line to take away from this, was the fact that at least it was a clean loss on my end, and I could have played the game a little bit differently, but I didn't really have much, like I said, for the Scarf Crook in the back, so props to Hera on that part. So, nonetheless, if you guys did enjoy this battle, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Also encourage you to check out Hera's side of the battle, as well as every other coach in the MPL. They are all very, very solid battlers and cool people in general. So I'm going to try to bounce back. We are now 0-2 with -3 differential. We'll be playing Blue Rogue and his rebranded AFC Wormadam for week number 3 in a chance to try to bounce back and get a W to get our season back on track. And another little side note to notice that did make a transaction, nothing minor. I did drop Lilligant and I picked up Torterra, so nothing real fancy about that. I just wanted to have something that can take a ground. It's something for my little ground weakness that I've amassed here, and if you've noticed that having Torterra in this battle would have actually been a little bit helpful for the Krooko-dile, but who knows. I'm not going to try to make any assumptions in the slightest, but that's going to be it from me, guys. Hope you guys enjoy, and until the next time, my name is Anthony, aka Tone. I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. Later!